you so much for joining. It is not yet 4 p.m. where I am, or it's not yet on the hour, so just wait a couple of minutes till everybody tunes in. And I want to share a little bit about this Kirtan today, something very, very dear to my heart, someone very dear to my heart who has passed on from this world today, that I'm wanting to pray for and dedicate this Kirtan to. So thank you, Amalia. A couple people were saying that they're having problems hearing. I'm not sure if that's the case. No one else has really said that. The majority seem to be able to hear. So before I speak, say anything, please let's just come together in a little meditation, invocation. Let's take a deep breath. Offering prayers to our guides, our spiritual masters, who open our eyes from a state of blindness of ignorance. Open our eyes with the ointment of wisdom, of knowledge, and allow us to see the way forward. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Ashtatya Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Someone more time. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. Thank you for everyone here on Instagram joining. So before I begin today's Kirtan, I wanted to say a few words about a very, very dear soul who has left this world today. I woke up to that news this morning, and it is a very, very sad day for many, many people around the world. Today I tuned into the funeral, the last rites, and I saw that there were 5,000 people tuned in on this live stream. And I'm sure that's only a fraction, a tiny fraction of the lives that he has touched. His name is Pankanjanghri Das. Pankanjanghri means the lotus feet of the Lord, the lotus feet of the divine, and throughout his life, he was completely dedicated to serving those beautiful feet. To use the word dedicated even to describe him seems like it seems like the word dedicated doesn't describe it. We use the word dedicated to describe so many different types of things, but that level of persistent service infused with the deepest love, the word dedicated doesn't sum it up. He lived his life as an offering of devotion, and to anyone who just even got a chance to witness him serving, he was from England, he was born in England, but he served in a holy place known as Mayapur. He served in the temple, on the altar, he served in the shrine, and he performed the ritual worship daily. That's just one aspect of what he did. But just to observe him doing that, just to observe him interacting with people, it's said that a very pure soul, just observing them is enough to transform the heart. So anyone that knew him, anyone that saw him, felt this to be true. He deeply touched the lives of so many people, including my own. I had somewhat limited interactions with him, but the interactions that I had touched me very, very deeply, and it is really difficult to contemplate his passing. Not because, for those who follow and have faith in the Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the soul departs this body and it moves on to to its next destination. For those who have offered their life in devotion, their destination is the most auspicious. So we're not sad for him, but we're sad for ourselves that we are bereft, we are abandoned, we are left without his association, his company. So I am really sad today. I'm really sad, and I know that many of you that are joined in here on this Kirtan, I think my friend Balaram is here, my friend Mandali. There are many here who knew him much better than I did, who are feeling, I'm sure, so much pain in their hearts, and we can cry together because there's nothing to describe when such a great soul leaves this world. There's no feeling to describe it. It opens our hearts up and allows us to actually feel what it is to feel some deep devotional love. So we offer our gratitude and our thanks to such a person, to such a soul, for gracing this world with his presence, for teaching us by his example, for giving us his blessings, his humor, his wisdom. And it is all right to cry, because it is proper to cry when such a great soul leaves this world, because they are really the ones who show us the way forward. So these tears are very precious that we can shed in their departure. But we really miss him so much. We miss him so much. And I know that so many of you that are tuned in here have probably had to say goodbye to many other people recently in the last year. Today, some dear friends, also my dear friends Yogi and Ananda, they had to say goodbye to their father, their two young men, the same day. And I'm offering my prayers for their father, Saddharma Prabhu, also. Offering my prayers to everyone who is grieving right now, who is bereaved from a loved one. So what can we do? We can dive into this ocean of the divine names. This is our refuge, our shelter, and I'm extremely grateful to just have the opportunity to chant with you all again. Even though I can't see you and hear you, I feel your presence. I'm very grateful for this Sangha. So I'd like to dedicate these prayers, this chanting, to His Grace Pankajanghri Das, Pankanjanghri Prabhu, to Saddharma Prabhu, and to everyone who has recently departed from this world. Today I'm going to sing. For the entire time we're going to dive into that ocean of the Maha Mantra. These divine names express our profound aspiration for service, for devotional service. Nothing could be more fitting than to chant in memory of a person whose whole life was devotional service. Please sing very loudly. Before we begin, I'll just let you know that any donations that are made today and any donations made throughout the whole month of May on the live Kirtans, I will be donating to COVID relief in India. I will be donating the funds to the Lotus Trust, who are helping with a COVID nursing center in New Delhi. So please feel free to give from your hearts. And of course, if you prefer, you can donate to another organization of your choice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna let's sing this sacred mantra together, Maha mantra. Hare Thank you all so much for being here. Um, it's really wonderful to chant with you. It's very, very soothing to the heart. Um, it's practically the only thing that ever really helps on a heart level. Gives great solace, especially in these times where we feel great distress and great separation from loved ones, and so much anxiety, so much suffering in the world. Thank you to all of you so far who have been sending in donations. I wanted to remind you that all of my live kirtans in May, every Tuesday live kirtan in May, all of the donations that you send in, I'm going to be sending for COVID relief in India. There's a particular charity, the Lotus Trust, who are the charitable arm of Bhaktivedanta Manor, where I grew up. They are running a COVID clinic in New Delhi, which is the epicenter currently of the crisis in India. So donations that you send in during these sessions, I will be sending them there. So before we conclude today, I'd like to also chant a very special prayer. Just one second. This prayer is known as Narsingha Pranam. Narsingha is a manifestation of divinity. He's very famously known because he looks like a half man, half lion. And he appeared, it's recounted in the Bhagavad Purana, he appeared in a time of great need, great crisis and distress for his dear devotee, who was a small 5-year-old boy, Prahlad. That little boy was not an ordinary boy. He was a prince, but he was also extremely spiritually evolved and extremely wise. He had been, when he was in the womb of his mother, he was visited by a great sage, Narad Muni, and inside the womb he listened to the teachings of Narad Muni, who was instructing his mother, and he was learning so much in that way, absorbing. So by the time he came out, by the time he arrived in the world and he started to grow, he had a perfect understanding of what really has value in life. When he went to school, he was a royal prince, so when he went to school, he was going to school with other children from the court, and at playtime he was telling them, let's not waste our time, let's not just play and just, talk about this and that. Why not spend our time singing the divine names? Why not spend our time worshipping the Supreme? So his enthusiasm was so infectious that his friends soon joined in with him, and much to the dismay of their teachers, who were atheistic, they didn't believe in that there was a higher power much to their dismay, these boys were all chanting the divine names in their break time. So anyway, it's a long story, but as it happened, the level of envy and jealousy that was felt against Prahlad and his deep devotion was so intense, so extreme, that soon there were attempts made to take his life by his own family members. And so it's said that the Lord manifested in this form as a half man, half lion. The reason for that is very interesting. I won't go into it now, but it was to get around some loopholes which were created in a very, very clever way. He appeared as neither a man nor an animal. He came at twilight, neither the night nor the day, and he eliminated all of the aggressors to that small boy, not with any weapon, but with his own hands, his sharp nails. So this form of Narasimha is worshipped with great devotion, especially in times where we are seeking protection, we're seeking shelter in times of great danger. And it's particularly fitting to recite this prayer today because His Grace Pankajanghri Das, who, if you just tuned in recently, we are honoring him with this Kirtan. He was worshipping this form of the divine in the temple for, let's see, it's probably about 40 years, maybe 35 years. I'm not sure exactly when he was brought there, this incredible deity. But he worshipped him every day with so much devotion. And he is remembered in that way, offering beautiful ceremonies from his heart. All of us who would see him in the temple, who would just have the chance to witness him, we would just feel moved in a very, very deep way. So I'm offering this prayer. If you know the words, please join in. If you don't know the words, you can just listen. You can join in the refrain, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare. That means all glories to that Lord of the universe. And particularly we can offer a prayer for protection for any loved ones who are suffering right now, and also for, of course, everyone in each country which are really, really struggling. And again, if you wish to offer a donation, you can do so through the badges on Instagram or through various means on YouTube, and those funds will be going to COVID relief in India. Namaste verse says that that Supreme Lord who offers all protection and shelter is here, He's there, He's everywhere, in all directions, all around us, offering His protection at every moment. Ito Nrsimha Pareto Nrsimha Yato Yato Yamitato. Not only is He everywhere in all directions, He is on the outside, Bahir Nrsimha, Hridaye Nrsimha, He is inside within the heart also. Bahir Nrsimha, Hridaye Nrsimha, Nrsimha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Nrsimha Madim Sharanam. Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Vringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadisha Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadisha Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jagadish, Jai Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish. Last time all together. Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Hare. Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai, Shriman Pankajanghri Prabhu Ki Jai, Shriman Satdama Prabhu Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your donations. Incredible. You've helped to raise $200 here on Instagram and 58 pounds here on YouTube. Next time YouTube, you have to do better. I'm just joking. That is so wonderful. Let us honor today this great, great soul who has departed this world. Actually, although at the beginning of this call I was a little bit tearful, I was crying. The sad day is just for us because we miss such a great devotee, but actually it's a very auspicious moment because it is said that someone who serves throughout their life, whose devotional service is so deeply cultivated and consistent, dedicated, unrelenting, for them life and death, so-called life and death, they're exactly the same. it doesn't really matter whether they leave the body, because the soul goes on and they continue with their service in an even more bright, brilliant, illuminated, and fortunate way. So we honor this festive day, this celebration of his life and of his future destination, and pray that we can just have a little drop of such devotion. So thank you, Richard and AJ. Thank you to Melanie, Rosie, Perry, Chandler, Francesca, so many faces that I know here today. Hare Kirtan, Prabhu, Kamalarada, Eric Magoo, who else is here? Joel, Lena. If you have any questions just before we go, I'm happy to answer a couple of questions if you do have any. But otherwise, thank you to Pablo for being here. Thank you, Sham, Srimati. Thank you to, lots from Sham, Srimati Guha, Jigyasa, Anuj, Vatsalya, Haribol from Philippines. Thank you, Gita. Lovely to see you here. Kevan, Marcel, Truby, thank you for being here. Nisha, most grateful to all of you. Also, if you want to make a donation later on, not during the live sessions, on my Instagram page, there is a way to donate directly to Give India. Sherry is asking, how is the money reaching India? So the money that's collected in these live sessions, I'll be sending directly to the charity that's running this clinic in New Delhi. So I'll be gathering it and directing it straight to them. Haribol from Berlin. Oh, sorry, I've got some mosquito bites. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. See you next week. Looking forward to it. I'm really, I'm missing doing these daily kirtans, actually. It is about, it's not a year ago, it's over a year now, but, roughly a year since we started doing those daily kirtans. And I love doing those so much. I've been contemplating whether I should start again, but I know it's quite a commitment to keep up. It made it a lot easier because my mother and my brother were helping me. But maybe I'll start to do 2 days a week or something. It's just so nice to share this time with you. Someone was asking, how's the spread of COVID being where you are? I'm in a relatively safe place in the United States. Currently, the spread is pretty bad in some places, but not in this area. It's actually okay. It really depends where you are. The USA has a lot of space in some parts of the country. So if you're so fortunate, then you have, a lot of land around you. You don't have to come into contact with too many people. But I pray that you are all staying safe wherever you are. Please do be mindful, do be careful, take all the necessary precautions, and let's stay connected through this sacred mantra, this sacred sound. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.